Undergraduate Commencement celebration. You may photograph your graduate after the ceremony against the blue backdrop set up in the arena. Please do not leave your seat for photographs during this morning's ceremony. Without further ado, let's begin the celebration. We present the class of 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, the faculty, administrators, and trustees of Oklahoma City University. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation. The colors are being presented today by cadets Zach Southard and Stephanie Chanel from the University of Central Oklahoma, Cadet Victoria Little from Oklahoma City University, and Tucker Kuntz from Oklahoma Christian University. Our national anthem will be led by Arden Ann Walker, who is receiving her Bachelor of Music today from the Bass School of Music. You will find the words to the national anthem on page 41 of your program. This morning's invocation is led by Philip Blake Yonts, who will be receiving his Bachelor of Arts today from the Wimberley School of Religion.
Let us pray. Almighty God, as we come together in celebration this day, we give you thanks. There have been many people, friends, teachers, mentors, and parents, all of whom have helped guide us on our journey to this place today. And for them, we give you thanks. Help us not to be fearful of what lies ahead, but hopeful of the path that has been laid before us. Remind us of the great love and support you and so many others have for us. And we pray that as we hear our names called aloud today, that we remember to also listen for your guiding voice as we go forth from this place. Amen.
Seated. This morning's student address is presented by Chance Johnson. Chance will receive his Bachelor of Arts today from the Petrie College of Arts and Sciences. He is majoring in political science and is the current president of the Student Government Association. Please welcome Chance Johnson.
Hello, everyone. Before I begin, I'd, of course, like to thank some people. First and foremost, my parents, Greg and Ann Johnson, who instilled in me a strong work ethic, taught me to aspire to greatness, and love me unconditionally. My sister, Clarissa, who has always believed in my potential and never allowed me to fail in meeting it. My girlfriend, Kendall Jones, her support and positivity have carried me through some of my toughest times. I'd also like to thank the rest of my family and friends who have encouraged me in chasing my lofty and sometimes unrealistic goals. To the faculty here at OCU, I'd like to thank you for making the past 4 years challenging. It's easy to say that now that I'm, concluding my time here. To the staff and administrators, I'd like to thank you for looking out for the long-term health of this great institution. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to my classmates for allowing me the great honor of serving as your president. It has truly been the greatest honor of my life. Someone I greatly admire once told me that good writers borrow from other writers, and great writers steal from them outright. With those words in mind, I'd actually have one small request to the faculty before I get to my remarks. If you all wouldn't mind covering your ears for a few minutes while I finish this speech. It's essentially one long and kind of egregious act of plagiarism. I don't want any of you rethinking my final grades. But on that note, putting this speech together has actually been a real challenge. Considering that, my classmates and I are essentially at the same point in our lives, I don't really have any words of wisdom or guidance to offer you in this moment. So what I chose to do instead is to share a thought with you that has resonated with me greatly over the past few months and become a source of inspiration and motivation in my life. My hope is that it will do the same for you. This isn't a new thought. It's likely one that's, occurred to some of you and in some form or fashion, but it is extremely difficult to express. Until recently, I haven't heard someone communicate it quickly or effectively, but then I came across, ironically, a video on Facebook one morning when I woke up. It was created by a man named Jay Shetty. And Jay is a digital media consultant for several online publications, and he actually calls himself a motivational philosopher, whatever that means. The video was called "The Paradox of Our Times," and he begins it with a quote from Albert Einstein. Einstein is talking to a man named Werner Heisenberg, and he says, in the West, we've built a great, big, beautiful ship. And in that ship, we have all the comforts and conveniences of modern life. But actually, the one thing that we don't have is a compass, and that's why we don't know where we're going. This paradox of our times was actually propounded by the Dalai Lama when he said that today we have wider freeways, but we have narrower viewpoints. And we have taller buildings, but somehow we have shorter tempers. And it was Martin Luther King who said that the irony of our times is that today we have guided missiles, but we have misguided men. It really doesn't stop there, though. Today we seem to have more knowledge, but less judgment. More experts, but less solutions. We're more politically correct than ever before, and yet our societies are just as divided by the prejudices that political correctness was designed to mask. We've made great strides in technology. We can communicate with people half a world away, and yet the same technology that brings us close to those who are far away actually has the ability to take us far away from those who are actually very close. We've developed machinery that was intended to make abundance, create abundance, and yet it has left so many of us in want. Our problems seem to be growing larger all the time, and yet our sense of community is perpetually shrinking. Now, this is obviously not one paradox, it's many, but I think that they all tie back to a few fundamental problems. I ascribe much of this to how we're taught to value things. Society tells us to look at everything through the lens of self-interested utility. In other words, how whatever I do stands to benefit me in some material way. We do this with our education as well. We're led to believe that we should go to school so we can get a job, make some money, have a family, and lead a comfortable and independent life. However, this way of thinking places tremendous limits on what we can accomplish both individually and collectively. The reason why I appreciate this place so much, OCU, the reason why the past 4 years have been so valuable to me, and the reason why this moment is bittersweet is because I don't believe self-interest is the prevailing motivation here. The notion of service is inscribed in our mission and our vision and incorporated into the curriculum of every student. Here we have been taught the value of sharing in the success of those around us. Over the past 4 years, we have won together, we have experienced loss together, and those victories were sweetened and those defeats were softened because we did them together. In even that short amount of time, I have seen so much good spring forth out of this community. I have seen you all grow, and I have experienced growth myself. As you leave this place today, you carry those values and those principles with you. Wherever you go, I would encourage you to maintain that spirit of service. I would encourage you to heed the words of the late Bobby Kennedy, who called on us to learn to find our own advancement in the search for the advancement of all. He said we must admit in ourselves that our own children's future cannot be built on the misfortunes of others. No commencement speech would be complete without some sort of call to action. So, to my classmates, go and do great work. Do what you love and do it well. But in whatever you do, always remember to serve those around you and impart that principle of service to as many people as you can. Maybe then we can rediscover our sense of purpose and direction, and maybe then we can reset this grand ship of ours back on course. I want to say congratulations to each and every one of you, and wish each and every one of you the best of luck in the next chapters of your life. I know you won't need it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the Oklahoma City University Board of Trustees, Ron Norick.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 2016 graduation of Oklahoma City University. I'm honored to be here today to welcome all of our guests, families, friends, relatives, children, parents, grandparents, everybody that's here. And on behalf of the faculty, on behalf of the trustees of this university, we are very, very pleased to have you here today. And we are extremely excited about our class of 2016. Yay is right about that. I can remember a few years ago, actually a few decades ago, that I was in your spot. It's a time that I'll never forget. It's a time that I hope you will never forget. It's a time that I hope when you leave this place that you will also remember this university in years to come with your fortunes, with your time, with your service. Because this is where you've got your beginning, and I want you all to remember that. It is very, very important, and we are very proud of you. In just a few minutes, you are going to go from Oklahoma City University students to Oklahoma City alumni. You remember that. You are going to be alumni here in just a few more minutes. So to all of you, congratulations on your work. Congratulations on today. Enjoy the day. You will have a great time, and you will remember this the rest of your life. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Graduates, just to tell you what happened, you have each been personally solicited by Ron Norick. So I just think that is a great experience. That is a great thing to have in your life. This is a historic day. And Professor Fowler tells us we may now say ahistoric unless we're British, Lance, and cannot aspirate our ages. So this is a ahistoric day. And you're going to hear from some wonderful people today. So I want you, if you would, graduates, to temper your joy just a little bit, to listen to these last little bits of wisdom that these remarkable people will have to offer you. I'm delighted to welcome you to this commencement service. This is a momentous time. The 2015-16 academic year has simply been amazing, and I have to tell you just a few of our successes. In the Minders School of Business, we were able, through the generosity of Bill Anatubby and the unconquered and unconquerable Chickasaw Nation, and Sue Ann Arnall, to acquire 12 state-of-the-art Bloomberg data terminals. This will enable every business major in our school to be certified in Bloomberg financial analysis and market concepts. That's a significant differentiator for OCU graduates in the job market. And who knows, Bloomberg may still run for president. Our internationally acclaimed Ann Lacey School of Dance was just listed as one of the 10 dance conservatories to consider for college by the major performing arts publication Backstage. Indeed, it has been consistently listed by major publications for decades. The recommendation read, with a focus on developing well-rounded students with character. The Ann Lacey School of American Dance and Entertainment launches performers into the country's upper echelon of entertainment. In our School of Theater, one of our students won the National Excellence in Costume Design Award at the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival. Our recent design and production area theater graduates continue to find astounding successes, landing jobs at Disney, Cirque du Soleil, and the Goodman Theater in Chicago. You can be more theatrical than that. I just met a father in the anteroom whose daughter is graduating in stage management, and he said, guess what my daughter's doing on Monday? And I said, what? And he said, she's beginning her first job. So I love it when that happens. As part of what I like to call our larger education experience at OCU, which is the education that happens outside the classroom, we bring in leading lecturers and speakers from across the globe. One of the speakers this year was the humanitarian Sister Rosemary Nirumbe. I'm very proud to say that our stellar Kramer School of Nursing graduating doctoral students will be partnering with Sister Rosemary to continue her research and work on enhancing child development to the orphan children in Africa. And as to the Kramer School of Nursing, we now have communities from Oklahoma knocking on its door, asking them to create and teach nursing programs there. At our Bass School of Music, graduating students have been offered entry to graduate programs ranging from Ithaca College's master program in composition to the doctoral program in medicine at Albert Einstein Medical School in New York. Einstein himself, you might recall, was quite a fiddler. Later this month, a group of music students and faculty will travel to China to perform music theater works from the golden age of Broadway at the Tianjin Conservatory. In our Petrie College of Arts and Sciences, we continue to see tremendous success with our graduating science students getting accepted to their professional school of choice. Another one of our 2016 graduates has received a full scholarship and stipend for the MA program in Film Studies at Washington University. In our education majors, moving arts, images majors, exercise science, philosophy majors continue to lead the way in graduate studies across the country. In athletics, we have a stellar athletic program. In fact, we have the most successful program in NAIA history. We added our third consecutive national championship in men's cross country, and NCAA national championships in cheer, pom, and hip hop. Overall, that's 60 NAIA championships. We have a preeminent soccer program, and you're probably familiar with one of our most famous soccer alums. Although rather than having modern fame for his kicking abilities, he is most famous for the line, "This is the final rose." Yes, Chris Harrison earned his OCU mass communications education with a soccer scholarship. His photo in his OCU soccer uniform was recently retweeted by First Lady Michelle Obama. Moving on to our Delane Brown Library, we've begun focusing on improving support for active and engaged students learning through a Learning Commons initiative. More on that in the future. Finally, our newest program, the OCU Physician Assistant Program, had its inaugural cohort classes begin on January 4th of this year. Under the direction of Dr. Dan McNeil, a pool of more than 150 applicants was pared down to 36 outstanding students. This is going to be an outstanding program for Oklahoma City University. So, as I've mentioned, it's been a phenomenal year. Maya Angelou wrote, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." How do you feel about graduation day at OCU? These remarkable graduates have the prestige of the larger education of OCU. Today is a day of celebration and family. In my day, we used to call it a Kodak moment. Few fossils like me still do. The university family joins graduates and their families in sharing the joy of their accomplishments. We offer the ideas and ideals of our honorary doctorate recipients for your consideration, and we will hear from an Olympic gold medalist, businessman, inspirational speaker, and community activist, Bart Connor. But at this point, we will honor some outstanding students. We'd like to take a few moments to recognize several outstanding members of the OCU community. To assist with the presentation of these awards, I call on my colleague, Interim Provost Kent Buchanan. Now, I'm seldom grateful for natural disasters, but I must admit to kind thoughts about Hurricane Katrina, because that shut down Tulane Medical School for a year so that we could convince Kent to come back to Oklahoma. In your program, you'll see lists of awards earned by our graduating seniors. This is an impressive group who all deserve recognition. These students have been honored at their schools' separate award ceremonies held during the week. Today, we would, however, like to recognize students who've achieved special academic success at OCU. These are our Lettsizer Medal winners for 2016, and they are given to the top graduating senior students. As I call their names, I would ask that this year's winners come on stage to receive their medals and certificates. The bronze medals are awarded to Kyle C. Johnson and Eleanor Claire Nason. The silver medals are awarded to Emma Catherine Gassett and John Edward Hiller. And the gold medals are awarded to Riley Elizabeth Darby McClure and Stephen Christopher Good. Well, on a day set to honor our graduating students, it does seem appropriate to pause for a moment to recognize our outstanding faculty. Faculty are the soul of the institution. And each year, OCU honors a full-time faculty member whose teaching, scholarship, and service to the university is deemed to be exemplary. Nominations for this honor are solicited from other faculty members, administrators, staff, and students. But the final selection rests with kind of a tough crowd. That is, the group of previous recipients of that award. It is my pleasure to recognize the 2016 Outstanding Faculty Award recipient, Professor Stephen Prillman, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Chemistry. Those of you interested in better living through chemistry will get to hear Professor Perelman this afternoon at our graduate. He is truly outstanding, and the labs that he redesigned, which we just completed a year or so ago, are really amazing. You should go take a look at them. Our university's highest academic award is its honorary doctorate. But from time to time, we also have another award that is of equal height in the zenith of what we do here. And that is an award given to people that epitomize the concept of servant leadership. Chance eloquently mentioned in his address that concept and how important it is. And today, we have a couple who are both awarded that servant leadership. And I want to tell you something about them. Jane Giroux Gamble has been a television personality and a news anchor in Oklahoma City and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. She enjoyed a 16-year career in television journalism. She's currently pursuing a career as a writer and speaker with 2 recent books published, along with her active speaking career. Her books include Oklahoma 3 with David Fitzgerald's photography, More Grace Than Glamour, an autobiography with Bob Burke from the Oklahoma Heritage Association, and it's in its 2nd printing. Devote 40 Days in Tate Publishing, a book of devotionals. J-Rowe is the author of several articles, including publications in McCall's magazine and books such as Out of the Blue, Delight Comes in Your Life, and Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. She was producer of a set of audio readings by area ministers called Daily Devotionals and created a seminar for women titled Living Gracefully. In addition, she developed a project entitled Esther Women, created for such times as this. Jane is a former trustee of the Sarkees Foundation and was appointed by Governor George Nye to the Commission on the Status of Women, by Governor Henry Bellman to chair the Oklahoma Reunion 89, and to the Legislative Compensation Board by Governor David Walters. Governor Frank Keating appointed her to be the Cabinet Secretary of Tourism. In 1966, some of us will remember, Jane was crowned Miss Oklahoma and was chosen to be Miss America in 1967. It was Jane who started the annual tradition of Miss America USO shows for American military forces. She's performed in the musical theater and worked in production of radio and television commercials. She is still the best MC you can ever have at any event. A lifetime Methodist, she grew up in rural Oklahoma. She holds a bachelor's degree from Oklahoma City University, a master's degree from the University of Tulsa, and she has received an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from OCU. Jerry Gamble, Jane's husband, is president and owner of the Gerald L. Gamble Company, Incorporated, commercial and real estate brokers. You have seen his name a lot on signs around town. He holds the prestigious Society of International and Office Realtors, the Certified Commercial Investment Membership, and Counselor of Real Estate, CRE Realtor designations. He's past president of the Oklahoma Association of Realtors. He's a Phi Beta Kappa of the University of Oklahoma. He received his master's degree from Stanford University and graduated first in his class from the Oklahoma City University School of Law. In 1997, he received an honorary Doctor of Commercial Sciences from OCU. He's a past president of the Last Frontier Council, Boy Scouts of America, the Downtown Rotary Club, Fortune Club, and Economic Club. Jerry is a member of the United Methodist Church of the Servant and has served on the pastor parish committees. The university is grateful, Jane and Jerry, for all that you've done, not only for us, but for the community in your role as servant leaders. I will give you an award, and then I humbly beseech that each of you will say something to this crowd, because there's so much that you have to say.
Thank you, Robert. Jane and I would like to thank the trustees and President Henry for this award. It's just been our joy to be affiliated and associated with Oklahoma City University all these years. We admire the faculty, we admire the staff, you work hard, we admire President Henry and the leadership team, and we're just so thankful that all of you associated with the university do such good work.
But I have to say, the reason we stay connected to Oklahoma City University truly is the students. We're so proud of you today for what you've accomplished these past 4 years, and we're very proud of what you'll accomplish in the future. Now, you are forever a part of the OCU family, and this family has a strong identity. Just look at our graduates. We stand for high character, commitment to excellence, and a caring heart. In other words, we do the right thing, we outwork everyone else in the room, and we live love for each other and for our God. That's who we are. So graduates, be the best at what you do, but remember who you are. OCU stars, go light up the world. We love you.
One of the other things that I hope you've noticed about Jane and Jerry's success is simply this. I'm just suggesting that some of you graduates should marry each other. By the way, I neglected earlier, and I'm sorry to do this. If you are a trustee of Oklahoma City University, even if you're on stage, if you're a trustee, would you please stand up? These people spend hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars helping this university, so it's great to honor them. Well, this has been a banner year for our highest academic honor, the honorary doctorate. We actually granted 7 degrees, but 3 have already been presented to remarkable women who were really too busy to be with us here today. To the indomitable Florence Birdwell, a nebula, a creator of stars, who taught here for over 65 years and recently retired. To Kelly O'Hara, who won the Tony this year for her glorious performance in The King and I, and who's been a dominant force on Broadway, the opera stage, and television. To Sister Rosemary Narumbe, the successor of Mother Teresa, who has saved and inspired thousands of lives in war-torn areas of Africa and beyond, and has invited our nursing students to come and work with her. But today, I'm privileged to honor 4 people. Each of these recipients has been brilliantly successful in their chosen occupation, and all of them have gone above and beyond in their work. They are philanthropists, that wonderful Greek-derived word meaning lovers of mankind. They are servant leaders. The university is proud to honor them. The biographies start on page 31 of your program. You can read them when you go home. They are inspiring examples for us to go and do likewise. We honor these people, hoping that you will consider emulating them. So first, a good friend of mine, the most preeminent historian of Oklahoma, Dr. Bob Blackburn. Would you please join me at the podium as I read the proclamation of the Board of Trustees? Whereas Oklahoma City University is an acclaimed university affiliated with the United Methodist Church and committed to the ideal of servant leadership. And whereas Dr. Bob L. Blackburn is a renowned historian who brings Oklahoma origins alive to thousands of visitors as the executive director of the Oklahoma Historical Society. And whereas Dr. Bob has written or co-written 18 books, I think it's actually more than that, but 18 books on Oklahoma history, delivered over 1,000 lectures, and appeared frequently on television as a representative of our state. And whereas Dr. Bob L. Blackburn helped to spearhead the effort to fund and construct the remarkable Oklahoma History Center, and he is one of the guiding forces behind the Historical Society's transformation into a powerful, vital, living organization that pushes for excellence. And whereas Dr. Bob L. Blackburn strives to make Oklahoma history as vibrant and alive to the 70,000 Oklahoma students who visit the History Center as his grandmother's stories were to him. Therefore, by the power vested in me as president of OCU, by the Board of Trustees, and by a unanimous vote of the trustees, I confer upon you, Dr. Bob Blackburn, the Honorary Doctor of Humanities, with all the honors and privileges that pertain thereto. this.
Thank you, President Henry. For 37 years, I've been studying, writing, and talking about the story of our community, not just Oklahoma City, but the state, the region, and the nation. And OCU has always been part of that story. Since 1902, when Anton Klassen and the Methodist church community came together to establish a church-affiliated private university on the Southern Plains, this institution has been making a difference. And in the last couple of decades, I've worked with your multi-talented president, the trustees, the faculty, and many of you students. And I am convinced today, as much as I am about your history, that this university is an important part of our future. Thank you for this honor, and graduates, congratulations. Thank you.
Jim Couch, would you please join me at the podium? Whereas James D. Couch has spent his career as a licensed professional engineer in service of the public. By the way, I should say that you also produced a couple of licensed engineers in your family. Whereas James D. Couch is the city manager of the city of Oklahoma City. He serves as chief administrative officer of the city, as president of the Oklahoma Municipal League. And whereas James D. Couch serves on the Oklahoma City Airport Trust, the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust, the city's Zoological Trust, the Transportation and Parking Authority. He's the general manager of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area School Trust, the general manager of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. We have some considerable interest in that bit of property, and the Oklahoma City Development Trust. And whereas James D. Couch was elected to the Oklahoma Hall of Fame for city and town officials for his service. Therefore, by the power vested in me as president of Oklahoma City University, by the Board of Trustees, and by a unanimous vote of the trustees, I confer upon you, James D. Couch, the Honorary Doctor of Public Administration, with all the honors and privileges that pertain thereto. This is for you. We'll take it.
Thank you. I'm honored and humbled by this doctorate. Oklahoma City is growing into a great city, and every great city has a great university. And for Oklahoma City, that university is Oklahoma City University. Oklahoma City has spent a lot of time and effort to do a couple of things. One is to improve the quality of life of Oklahoma City, and two is to bring employment opportunities to Oklahoma City. And we do that for one reason. There's a lot of very talented, very creative people, very bright people in this room, and we'd like them to stay in Oklahoma City. Why do we want that? Because the people that are in this room will add to the fabric of Oklahoma City and increase its quality of life. And when its quality of life is increased, then other bright, talented, and creative people will want to come to Oklahoma City, and the cycle continues. Well, except for a few of you people that want to go to Broadway, I understand that. And so, thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment to Oklahoma City University, and hopefully, Oklahoma City will be one of the areas you consider as you carry on your opportunities of life. Thank you.
I think Dr. Blackburn, who watches these things even more closely than I, would certainly say that Oklahoma City is in its golden age, and the two people most responsible for that are on this stage today, Dr. Couch and Dr. Norick. Dr. Jerry Venata, would you please join me at the podium? Whereas Dr. Jerry B. Venata is a gifted educator, serving as Professor of Medical Humanities at OCU and at the OU College of Medicine. And whereas Dr. Venata is the David Ross Boyd Professor Emeritus of Medicine and Humanities at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine. And whereas Dr. Venata is a respected author in his field of integrating humanities into medical practices. And whereas Dr. Venata is engaged in curriculum design and faculty development at the Oklahoma City University Physician Assistance Program and in teaching humanities at both OCU and the OU College of Medicine. Therefore, by the power vested in me as president of Oklahoma City University, by the Board of Trustees, and by a unanimous vote of those trustees, I confer upon you, Dr. Jerry B. Venata, the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the honors and privileges that pertain thereto.
Thank you, President Henry, and thank you, Oklahoma City University. 50 years ago in the fall, I presented myself as an 18-year-old eager physics student to Oklahoma City University, convinced that all I needed to know was all the math there was to know and all the equations that needed to be solved in physics, and I would have the world by the tail. The faculty at Oklahoma City University had a different idea for my life. And they showed me and taught me and prodded me about integrating the humanities into the world of science. I didn't pay a lot of attention to them at the time, but as soon as I started medical school, it dawned on me that the humans I was studying and the humanities they were talking about came from the same root. And so I got busy and I tried to catch up. And it turns out that they were right. This institution was right. We as physicians cannot provide care to our patients in the times that they need it most without understanding their plight. And we understand their plight by studying the humanities. Thank you.
Now I have the pleasure of introducing our graduation commencement speaker, Dr. Bart Conner. Bart is the only American male gymnast to win gold medals at every level of national and international competition. He's been a USA champion, NCAA champion, Pan American Games champion, World Cup champion, and an Olympic champion. He was a member of 3 Olympic teams in 76, 80, and 84. It was in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics where he made a dramatic comeback from his second torn biceps injury to win 2 gold medals, one as a member of the U.S. team. He earned his second gold with a score of a perfect 10 on the parallel bars. In the fall of 1976, Conner moved to Norman, Oklahoma to attend the University of Oklahoma and to be coached by the legendary Paul Ziert. While at OU, he earned 14 NCAA All-American honors and led his team to 2 NCAA titles. After graduating with a degree in journalism, he went into business with Coach Ziert. He's a TV color commentator, a public speaker. In 1991, he was inducted into the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame. In 1997, inducted into the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame. In 2006, Conner's 1984 Olympic gold medal winning team was inducted into the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame. In 1996, Bart married Romanian Olympic champion Nadia Comaneci. On June 3, 2006, Conner and Comaneci welcomed their son, Dylan Paul Conner, into the world. Bart and Nadia are involved in numerous charities, and they travel the world delivering inspirational speeches and promoting their charities. Indeed, as I was having dinner with Bart last night, he mentioned that his wife couldn't be with us. She was having dinner with the King of Spain. Bart, Bart, we arranged a special salute to you. We only figured out today that the only person with the power to stop this is Dr. Couch, and we didn't think to ask him beforehand. So, and I must admit, I wasn't thinking of that when I nominated you for the degree, but it's kind of a good thing. I think you can hear me read Bart's resolution over whatever that is, and but I don't want you to speak, Bart, while that's going on. But if you would come up and stand by me, I will read your resolution. Whereas Bart Conner is the only American male gymnast to have earned gold medals at the collegiate, national, and international level, and whereas Bart has graciously used his experiences to instruct and help others, and whereas Bart started the Bart Conner Gymnastics Academy, the Perfect 10 production company, and the Bart and Nadia Sports and Health Festival, and whereas Bart Conner has been inducted into the U.S. Olympic Committee Hall of Fame, the U.S. Gymnastics Hall of Fame, the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame, and the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Therefore, by the power vested in me as president of Oklahoma City University, by the Board of Trustees, and by a unanimous vote of that board, I confer upon you, Bart Conner, the Honorary Doctor of Humanities, with all the honors and privileges that pertain thereto.
Good morning, or actually, it's exactly now afternoon. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, President Henry. It's an enormous honor to join you here. As you know, I've long admired you as one of our community's most inspired leaders, and so I'm extremely thrilled to have a chance to speak today. And so to all of the graduates and to all our honorees on the stage, this is an enormous moment for me, as you can imagine. Now, as a fellow graduate, I'd like to talk directly to some of the graduates out there today in a little personal level and talk a little bit about my journey, and I hope some of my lessons will be useful and informative. But as I started making some notes for my talk today, I realized actually there's one significant difference between what you all are doing and what I do, is that I actually have only one discernible skill. I can walk on my hands. Want to see? Okay. You know, years from now, someone will ask you, what inspiring message did you learn at your graduation ceremony? And you can tell your friends, I have no idea what that guy said, but he did a handstand. Think about it. Gymnastics is a skill set that has practically no marketable value. And I'm one of the best in the world at it. I mean, unless I want to be Rumble, the mascot for our terrific Oklahoma City Thunder, there's not a lot of work out there for a guy like me. So I admire the graduates because most of you are actually in the process of selecting careers where you can actually make a living. That is so cool. So right now you're probably thinking, wow, President Henry, thanks a lot for bringing this guy here. How are his remarks going to possibly send us on our way into the real world? So I'd like to tell you a few short anecdotes, and I hope I earn your respect. Even though I was one of the best gymnasts in the world, after I earned my degree and finished my gymnastics career, I had to completely reinvent myself. I'd be remiss if I did not speak just for a minute about my lovely wife, Nadia Komenich. She is enormously beautiful and accomplished. I often like to tell people that in our household we have 11 Olympic medals. Of course, 9 of them are hers. Even though we just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary last week. Thank you. Her lifestyle, as President Henry mentioned, is a little bit different than mine. She's in high demand all around the world, and in fact, she is right now at a glamorous fundraising gala in Madrid. And it's funny because a few years ago, she was also at an event in Spain, and she sent me a text. And the text read, "At dinner with the King of Spain." And I was at Sonic. It was happy hour. Right? So I wiped the barbecue sauce off of our son's face, and our son was about 6 at the time, and so I texted back, having a corn dog with the Prince of Norman. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about finding your focus in life and how doing that can change everything. I want to use the word focus as an acronym to illustrate some of my points. Now, the F in focus stands for find your passion. At a very young age, I was very lucky to discover the sweet intersection of my passion and my aptitude, my element, so to speak. And I also discovered the amazing power of knowing just what you can accomplish when someone truly believes in you. Now, my entire path was set in motion by one great teacher with a good heart, a good man, in 4th grade PE class. I was that annoying kid who was walking around the gym floor on my hands, and his name, Les Lang, was my PE teacher. He said, "Hey, Bart, you're pretty good at that. Have you ever thought about doing gymnastics?" Well, I knew nothing about that. So he said, "Let me speak to your parents. Maybe on the weekend I could take you over to the high school and you could learn a little bit about what gymnastics is all about." So on a 10 a.m. Saturday morning in the cold winter of the Chicago suburbs, I went over to Niles West High School, and I'll never forget walking onto that balcony, and I saw the rings and the bars and the trampoline and the pommel horse. And I thought, this is where I belong. To me, it was like a high-tech Disneyland with all kinds of cool things to swing on and fly off of. I knew this is where I belonged. And in fact, I did a handstand on the parallel bars, and one of the high school kids says, "Wow, that's pretty good. You're a gymnast. How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 10. And he said, "I like your chances. I think you could be good someday." Well, that's all I needed to hear. And that set me on my way. So the first key, and I certainly hope the first takeaway for the graduates here, is find your passion. I mean, who knew that walking on my hands would lead me to travel around the world, to meet and marry this incredible famous Olympian from Romania, of all places, to meet heads of state and to be a successful businessman and to be connected in my community with people like this who are literally the rock stars of Oklahoma City. It's enormously overwhelming when I think about all that started with my interest in walking on my hands. The second key takeaway should be I would encourage you all to be relentless about seeking and developing opportunities, especially ones that don't necessarily seem to be obvious choices. They may help you achieve your goals. Doors open when you're out there making things happen, and I truly believe that your ability to seek out and take advantage of opportunities is a more important factor than your actual raw talent. I know that for a fact. Throughout my career, there were always gymnasts who were more talented, more explosive, more daring, more physically gifted than me. Therefore, I had to seek every opportunity to better myself. I'll tell you a personal story along those lines. A few years after I finished my competitive career, another very unexpected opportunity came my way. I was sitting in my house in Norman, Oklahoma. It's 1989. The world was changing. The big bad Soviet empire was falling, and all the same for the former Soviet Eastern Bloc countries like Romania, Bulgaria, East Germany, and others. I was reading in the paper, I was watching to see who was going to be on all the television talk shows that night, and it was, the Johnny Carson show, the Arsenio Hall show, and at the time, Pat Sajak, who is the Wheel of Fortune guy, he actually had a late-night talk show on CBS, and I looked through the list there, and I saw that Nadia Comaneci, the famous Olympic champion, was going to be on his show that night. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I realized, wait a minute, I know somebody who works out there. I called a friend of mine named Michael Weissman in Los Angeles. And I said, "Michael, I see Nadia Comaneci is going to be on your show. We met years ago, but we're not much more than acquaintances, but I'd sure love to say hello to her." And he said, "Are you in LA?" And I said, "No, I'm in Oklahoma." It was noon. And he said, "Can you be in LA by 5 o'clock?" And I said, "Yes." So I grabbed some clothes, I went to the airport, I found a flight, I flew to LA, I changed clothes in the bathroom of an airplane, which only a gymnast can do. And when I landed at LAX, they had a helicopter meet me because they were taping the show at 5 p.m. There was no way I was going to make it to CBS Television City in time to get there during the taping of the show. So a helicopter flew me over, landed me on the grounds of the television complex. They gave me 24 roses and said, in the third segment, just walk on and say, Nadia, welcome to America. And I did. I gave her 24 roses and my phone number. Like I said, be relentless about seeking opportunities. So another takeaway I would like to leave you with is about courage. Now, as President Henry mentioned, I became an Olympian while I was in high school. That's a pretty rare feat. I was faced with another key decision as to where I was going to go attend school. During the mid and late 70s, the best colleges in men's gymnastics were places like Michigan, Cal, Stanford, Penn State, Iowa State. Oklahoma was only 19th in the country. But I had a great feeling about a young coach who had recently come here just 3 years before named Paul Zert. He'd only been here a short time. He hadn't had a chance to establish a record of successes, but I knew he had the same type of passion and philosophy about the direction of gymnastics that I had. So it took quite a bit of courage to choose OU over the more obvious choices, but I trusted my instinct. I had a good feeling about the quality of the teacher that Zert was, and I sensed he was the one who could take my career to the next level. As the Robert Frost poem states, in The Road Not Taken, I took the road not taken, and in fact, that has made all the difference. So along with 2 other top gymnasts from the Chicago suburbs that summer, we loaded up everything we owned in a $600 Pontiac station wagon, and we drove the 800 miles to Norman. When I came to OU, our gymnastics facility was an old, dilapidated Navy World War II era movie house. It was on the southeast side of campus, what they called South Base at the time. Now, the facility was pathetic. In fact, the converted movie theater had a sagging and leafy roof. It was so small, to get the full distance to vault, you had to start in the concession stand. And if you over-rotated the vault, you slammed right up into the stage. Well, my freshman and sophomore years, along with the team that Zert had put together and the 3 kids from Chicago, we won the first of our 2 10 NCAA championships. I'm always quick to remind Coach Bob Stoops that football has won 7 times, but gymnastics has won 10. Now, of course, after we became one of the best programs in the country, we got one of the finest facilities. But coming to Oklahoma, I found out and I connected with an important mentor and someone who inspired me. And that takes some courage. And I encourage all the graduates out there to have the courage to trust your instincts, even if it isn't necessarily the obvious choice. Now, the next key in our acronym is U, and that stands for Unite. Quickly, my story about uniting is when I had been competing for all those years. I was in my mid-20s when I was reaching the peak of my gymnastics career. I was focused on the 1984 Olympics that were going to be in Los Angeles, and I had great expectations. I went to an important international meet in Japan called the Chunichi Cup. All the top international athletes were there half a year in advance of the Olympics. It was an important staging ground to see who could be a contender for Olympic gold in Los Angeles. As I was going through my rings routine, you know, the iron cross, I was pulling through a move from below the rings to above the rings, and it's a terrible name for a gymnastics move. It's called a dislocate. So as I'm pulling from below the rings to above the rings, I hear whoosh, like a ripping sound, like ripping Velcro. And what I had done is I had torn my bicep off, and it balled up down in my elbow. Oh, nice, huh? So I jumped off the rings. You know, athletes were told to keep fighting. You know, I realized, wait a minute, I calculated quickly. This is 7 months before the Olympics. I'm halfway around the world. I just tore my bicep. I got to get some help, and I got to get it in a hurry. So I jumped off the rings, and I'll never forget it because one of my great heroes in gymnastics was a guy named Nikolai Andrianov, the great Olympic champion from Russia. and he didn't know much English, but he saw my bicep balled up at my elbow, and he said, "Connor, bicep, cut, finish." Thanks a lot, Alexander. So a few hours later, I'm on a flight back to the United States. I connected with a team of doctors and my parents and my coaches and physical therapists, and within a few days, I had surgery. I woke up with a passive motion machine on my elbow in 1983, already starting to prep my elbow to see if I could make it in time for the Los Angeles Olympics. So that summer, 1984, I joined with 6 terrific guys, and we had one of those magnificent moments that every athlete hopes for. We were just in the zone. The world champion Chinese team was a heavy favorite, and we beat them by 7/10 of a point to win the gold medal. Killed them. And then 4 days later, I won an individual gold on the parallel bars by 25 thousandths of a point. That's how good the competition is at that level. But the key to that was, once I realized I was in trouble, was to unite a team around me to help me achieve my goals. So to the students here, look at the people on this stage. There's a lot of enormously successful people on this stage. All of them will tell you a story about a powerful team moment that helped them achieve the enormous things that they have done. I learned that through my experience in sports. Now, the final key takeaway today is significance. So we found our passion, we seek opportunities, we have courage to take the unchosen path, we unify our team. And the S to me, I used to think a lot about success, but maybe because I'm a little bit older now, I'm really much more interested in significance. And that's why I really enjoyed listening to Chance talk about the sense of purpose. And I know that perhaps many of you here at OCU have been infused with that sense of purpose because of this incredible education and the incredible examples that you have from the faculty and staff here at OCU. So the mere fact that you're a graduate of OCU, not only do you have the tools, but more importantly, you've been in an environment where you've been encouraged to use your skill set to serve others. This is your opportunity to become significant in your careers and your businesses and your community. As business writer Daniel Pink illustrated in his book, Driven, we all have the same intrinsic motivation. We seek autonomy, we seek mastery, and we seek purpose. Now that can mean many things. It can mean bottom line financial success, good community service, inspiring leadership, or making a difference in your chosen charities. In nearly 30 years of functioning in the so-called business world, I can say that many of the most fulfilling projects I've been able to work on have been the non-for-profit experiences that have transformed my perspective on the world that we live in. My final quick anecdote. One day many years ago, I got a call from Eunice Kennedy Shriver. She's the sister of John F. Kennedy. What a thrill to take that call. She asked me if I could come to the United Nations in New York to help celebrate the growth of Special Olympics. Special Olympics, as many of you know, is the worldwide sports program for athletes with intellectual challenges. Well, I knew all about Special Olympics because I was introduced to it here in Oklahoma in the 70s. I told her, unfortunately, I wasn't going to be able to come to New York because that next week I was going to Zimbabwe to do a gymnastics tour, to teach clinics and do exhibitions to expose students there to gymnastics. And she said, well, wait a minute. While you're in Zimbabwe, couldn't you help start Special Olympics? She said, do you know the president of Zimbabwe, President Mugabe? I'm like, no. I'm a gymnast from Oklahoma. I don't know lots of heads of state. And she says, well, let me make a few phone calls and we'll see what we can do. That was not part of my plans, I can tell you. But over the next couple of weeks in Zimbabwe, we met with the Minister of Sport, sponsors, coaches, athletes, family members. We organized training sessions and began Special Olympics Zimbabwe. So after 30 years of volunteering, I now serve as the vice chair of the International Board of Directors of Special Olympics, which is based in Washington, D.C. Today, there are over 5 million athletes from 170 countries around the world who are experiencing a transformation from one of the most neglected populations in the world to a segment of society who now feel like true contributors to our communities and, in fact, to the fabric of the world. I'm always proud to talk about Oklahoma Special Olympics because it all started here with me. And I've seen the volunteers, the family members, the coaches, and the people of goodwill in this state. That's the Oklahoma standard. We take care of each other, don't we? And Special Olympics is near and dear to my heart, and I'm always honored to enjoy the Special Olympics Games in Stillwater when they celebrate the incredible accomplishments of this courageous group of citizens. So in closing, I think one thing that we all have in common is at the end of the day, we want to know that our presence actually made a difference, that our lives mattered. Your generation, graduates in particular, seems to be more aware of social injustices, the environment, and you just might be even more passionate about global issues than any other generation in history. So I challenge you to focus, find your passion, seek out and chase opportunities. Be courageous about your choices. Unite your team around you and strive for significance. And always, as I hope my anecdotes have illustrated, always be ready to adapt. Because many times the most fulfilling and perhaps even the most profitable things in your future may not have actually been a part of your original plans. I wish you all good luck, and I hope someday, years from now, I'll run into some of you who will undoubtedly be our key community leaders. And I hope you'll stop me and say, hey, you spoke at my graduation. I have no idea what you said, but you did a handstand. Thank you and good luck. Thank you.
I have, before you say this, I have seen Bart do a handstand in tails before, but I think he says that in a cap and gown it's even more difficult. What a wonderful, wonderful, I think that was another perfect 10. Thank you.
Will the candidates for all baccalaureate degrees please stand? That's you guys. Go on. President Henry, on behalf of the faculty of Oklahoma City University, it is my privilege to present the 2016 candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Provost Buchanan. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Oklahoma City University and upon the recommendation of the university faculty, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degree with all the honors and privileges that pertain thereto.
Thank you, President Henry. New degree holders, you may now move your tassel from right to left to signify your graduation. Please join me in congratulating the newest Oklahoma City University alumni. Graduates, you may be seated. You will be directed to the stage by the faculty marshals.
The names of our graduating students will be announced by Dr. Robert Griffin.
As you cross the stage today, after receiving your diploma and shaking hands with President Henry, we invite you to seal your covenant with Oklahoma City University by placing your hand on the gold star located on your right as you exit the stage. The original gold star stands as a point of honor atop the Gold Star Memorial Building, constructed in 1954 for the Oklahoma Methodists who were killed in service to their country. We invite you to celebrate this tradition at Oklahoma City University. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Arts degrees from the Petrie College of Arts and Sciences. Kyra Ann Roberts Bates. Teddy Bemis. Chris Beamer. Taylor Brown. Alexandra Bryant. Clifton Colbert. Sarah Coleman. Jay Cox. Brianna Delgado. Taylor Danielle Ellenberg. Astiana Louise Flipping. Emiliano Gatewood. Emily Guthrie. Justice Huddleston. Sam Henry. Kendra Holisek. Jordan Howell. Aaron Langer. Monique Long. Colin McCartney. Hannah Mitchum. Skylar Janice. Michael Verco Curtis. Chance Johnson. Wolf Azero. Rhonda Paulus. Satoria Pettis. Stephen Cody Sievertson. Jessica Vasquez. Scott Verplank. Sydney Nicole Wakini. Kyle Wallace. Leslie Wallach. Jamie Warman. Rachel Williams. Devin Wilson. Allison Worsham. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees from the Petrie College of Arts and Sciences. Ashton Arnaldi. Jeremy Cunanan. Joshua Downing. Avery Laurel Hansen. Madiha Jane Jua. Alexander Knight. Carice Elise Meyer. Lance Sean Holz Whitlow. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Science degrees from the Petrie College of Arts and Sciences. Aria Bahraini. Kyle Eldridge Beard. Reno Bloom. Ronald Brown. Alexandra Bryant. Matthew Burkett. Morgan Butala. Angela Clifton. Hannah Davis. Atticus Dellinger. Esther Devani. Harley Jace Dodd. Colin Earl. Riley Darby McClure. Stephen Good. Stanislav Barinov. Josh Fields. Montre Fox. Tyler Allen Gaines. Jessica Grimmett. Sophia Hackney. Taylor Henderson. Brianna Hillebrand. Kaylee Human. Markeisha Johnson. Emily Kilby. Alvy Killingsworth. Kara Margaret Clam. Kelly Kortemeyer. Rebecca LaVictoire. Hannah Lehman. Shelby Ann Legg. Elizabeth Mary Catherine Matthews. Aaron McCoy. Shelby Morrison. Evante Neal. Heather May O'Connor. Emily Jane Ehlert. Jamie Renwick. Janan Ruck. Dylan Smith Sutton. Adriana Tomiu. Marisha Wallace. Evan White. Rachel Young. James Young. Chantal Zambrana. Ailey Thompson. Courtney Tucken. The following graduates, through a joint program with our partners at MDIS in Singapore, are receiving their Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees from the Petrie College of Arts and Sciences. We are pleased to have these students join us for commencement. Nurul Adna Bint Abdul San. Amelia Benjamin. Sean Chung. Shazon bin Dawood. Rachel Fong Ching Yi. Suriana Jumari. Leta Kaveri. Li Ying. Liang Jingyi Athena. Nuk Hanina Binti Mod Hez. Keisha Ashton Nair. Nam Ki Jong. Nureni Binti Rawi. Nurul Ayin Rawi. S. Hemamalini. Siva Yogini Sandarana Segaron. Satar Strulia Willin. Michelle Ingmei Shue. So Uching Disil. Shirindev Kaur. Daisy In Michelle. Hemalatha, daughter of Alograpan. Daria Bogdanovich. Sharmili, daughter of Chandra Segarun. Nurul Aisha Binti Parid. Inez Orr. Ho Jing. Lan Chi Hong. Ravtej Singh Lehal. Atira Kairunisa Binti Raihun. Anushka Selen. Shin Yong-eun. Song Jie. Deo Iun. Nur Alicia Tibor. Yan Guangnan. Yi Shouman. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Business Administration degrees from the Minders School of Business. Isa Amr Abu El Aila. Badr Al-Katani. Adonis Jarad Askew. Awad Bajser. Dondra Brookins. Brooke Crutchfield. Brett Bearden Dixon. Jameel Donovan. Tyler Eccles. Robert Landon Flipping IV. Chelsea George Jarman. Marianne Grover. Jason Hawley. Liu Wu. Bo Huang. Estefania Jimenez Torres. Trey Mangum. Reason McAvoy. Delaney Messenger. Eleanor Nason. Daniel Mizufuka. Monique Nix. Miriam Ortega. Jacob Allen Overling. Caitlin Ponticus. Dama Sine. Kelly Shields. Trayvon Smith. Hunter Swink. Abigail Thompson. Rebecca Lynn Wade. Ibo Chong. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Science in Business degrees from the Minders School of Business. Mohammed Al-Ghafis. Faisal Al-Areni. Eric Ayers. Daniel El-Kadi. Matthew David Nelson. David Pham. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Performing Arts degrees from the Ann Lacey School of American Dance and Entertainment. Jordan McKay Beal. Giddings Walker Brown. Emily Crawford. Emma Gassett. Anna Gilday. Julie Graff. Michael Hibbs. Sarah Lindsay Holmes. Carly Johnson. Alexis Miles. Jesse Peltier. Cynthia Joy Thorne. Jacqueline Wongler. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Science degrees from the Ann Lacey School of American Dance and Entertainment. Sarah Rochelle Anderson. Kristen Carol Bachicha. Elisa Cover. Juliana Lisa Elliott. Elizabeth Garner. Madeline Grant. Zoe Harris. Jennifer Mackenzie Higley. Lucy Jennings. Kendall Jones. Jennifer Kenneberg. Lacey Louie. Katie McMahon. Caitlin Nerissa Nelson. Caitlin Rice. Katie Schneider. Jessica Strohmeyer. Sarah Wesley. Aaron Weezy. Nicole Wilwert. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Arts degrees from the Bath School of Music. Zachary Bays. Elizabeth Pat Burnett. Kimberly Donnelly. Marianne Dutcher. Jared Quinn Edwards. Crystal Rose Haith. Kendall Nicole Lannon. Seth Lynn. Keegan Alexander Marlick Barrera. Jennifer McMichael. Hope Risher. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Music degrees from the Bath School of Music. McKeever Arnold. Nicole Kristen Baker. Veronica Battersby. Brooke Bradley. Colin Brisky. Travis James Birch. Nicole Yvonne Choate. Alexis DeWitt. Caitlin Doga. Emily Christine Emmett. Sean Irwin. Emma Foraton. Jordan Chandler Gacious. Selena Rianne Gilliam. Nathan Patrick Hilger. Dallas Joseph Howard. London Caitlin Longwheeler. Joseph Lyons. Mason Mate. Alexander Hall Peterson. Danielle Peterson. Austin Caleb Rice. Shannon Eileen Ryan. Carly Sinclair. Madeline Grace Smith. Allison Taylor Swift. Lydia Wagner. Arden Ann Walker. Heather Melinda Watson. Dax Weezer. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Arts degrees from the School of Theater. Carmen Blessing. Rachel David. Adriana Napolitano. Brittany Tiger. Linda Elizabeth Dowell. Ellen Ann Murphy. Elizabeth Young. Congratulations to the class of 2016. Oh, not yet. What? A few more.
I made it.
The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees from the School of Theater. Brian Rodney Bauer. Brianna Boland. Adam Call. Leslie Murridge Kaufman. Kristen Udy. Elizabeth Foreman. Alexis Graves. Lucas Halpert. Sarah Henriksen. Brett Holloman. Courtney Lauren Honecker. Natalie Jacobson. Robert Charles Jamerson Jr. Allison Johnson. Jamie Lunsford. Laura Elizabeth Malone. Dagny McCartney. Hannah McHugh. Trenton McFatridge. Ian McGee. Catherine Miller. Caitlin Mays. Zachariah Payne. Matt Redmond. Samantha Reeser. Ariel Richardson. Jasmine Richmond. Christian Blake Split. Elizabeth Stowers. Trevor Strand. Michelle Tewksbury. Tressa Tingle. Tomas Torres. Nicholas D. Vallone. Taylor Weinhold. Amanda Wright. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees from the Kramer School of Nursing. Anne Marielle Alba. Rachel Ashwood. Martha Helena Nicole Baird. Elizabeth Beard. Jean Nicole Black. Sherilyn Bowland. Bobby Brezak. Casey Burns. Kimberly Chapman. Dixie Cook. Pamela Nell Cummings. Claire Dietz. Elizabeth Ebach. Sylvia Inawali. Wajina Fayaz. Crystal Joyce Shvedra Kapus. Douglas Gibson. Tracy Gibson. Samantha Hammond. Stacy Hayes. Rachel Susan Hernandez. Lori Hewling. Rachel Marie Habis. Mikhail Holbert. Dorothea Houston. Douglas Keith Hunter. Vanessa Ichel Inya. Darcy Lynn James. Tamika Ann Kearney. Krista Kenyon. Bejoy Purian. Victoria Leisure. Christine Leva. Katie Lofton. Holly McCabe. Lana Meissner. Shalon Mirzababa. Deborah Zoria Moning. Maria Morales. Chiluchile Victoria Mompe. Caitlin Norsha. Devin Payne. Shahida Rama. Kimberly Reeder. Elizabeth Priscilla Ransoma. Jennifer Renner. Christina Ricks. Heather Roberts. Jackie Samayua. Barbie Slattery. Stephanie Southard. Cheryl Stopker. Kenzie Suarez. Tori Thomas. Kalist Tiwa. Michelle Todd. Magdalene Epi. Ogna Omalevichut. Carson Wegman. Damela Young. Daniel Indiva. The following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Arts degrees from the Wimberley School of Religion. Claire Bear. Taylor Morgan Barnett. Olivia Coyle. Carly DeBoy. John Hiller. Michael Horn. Hannah Lampy. Alexander Madison Ramsey. Jimmy Willis. Philip Yonts. Congratulations to the class of 2016.
At this time, one Oklahoma City University student will take the oath of commissioning, making a second lieutenant in the United States Army. The commission is a document attesting that the President of the United States, reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of the individuals concerned, appoints them a commissioned officer. Montre D. Fox has successfully completed all requirements of the University of Central Oklahoma's Army ROTC program and now will take his position as an Army officer. Second Lieutenant Fox is receiving his Bachelor of Science in Political Science. Administering the commissioning oath is Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bart, Professor of Military Science at the University of Central Oklahoma. It is a tradition in the United States Army to have a family member, loved one, or individual close to the commissioning officer affix shoulder boards onto their uniform with the new rank of second lieutenant. This is referred to as the first pinning Second Lieutenant Fox is being pinned by his mother, Sonia Fox, and his father, Major Darren Fox. It is a tradition in the United States Army for newly commissioned lieutenants to receive their first salute from a non-commissioned officer who was instrumental in their training. The first salute is rewarded by the new officer giving the non-commissioned officer a silver dollar. Within the military, this first salute is known as the Silver Dollar Salute. Second Lieutenant Fox will be receiving his first salute from Senior Airman Brandon Miles. Second Lieutenant Fox will report to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri this month. We now present the Oklahoma City University Covenant. It is a pleasure to introduce the incoming Student Government Association Chief of Staff, David Samuel Hall, University Marshal Lance Marsh, and Alumni Board President Mike Slack, who will lead the covenant responses found on page 40 of your program.
Just as parents raise their children to leave them, teachers hope to make their students wise enough that we become superfluous. A true teacher has succeeded when a student lives his or her education. We will have taught you well if you know that intelligence is important, but wisdom is vital. Don't just go and do, go and be men and women of virtue.
Class of 2016, please join me in the response. We have learned much more from you than the syllabus covered because you have taught us by example. We have learned that knowledge is power, but character is enduring. Thank you for not just doing your job, but for being our teachers.
Alumni, please join me in the response. We all once stood where you now stand, thinking mostly about the future. But as alumni, we know that the past is prologue to the future. Don't forget the gift you have been given here. Find a way to give something back to this community that has given so much to you.
Class of 2016, please join me in the response. We will not forget. As we join the unbroken line of OCU alumni, you can depend on us to think not just about where we're going, but about where we came from. We pledge to honor Oklahoma City University and uphold the United Methodist tradition of academic excellence, spiritual development, and service to others. We are not just OCU graduates, we are now proud OCU alumni.
Please stand for the benediction led by Hannah T. Lampe, who has been awarded her Bachelor of Arts degree today from the Wimberley School of Religion. Then join together in singing the alma mater led by Cullen A. Brisky, who has been awarded his Bachelor of Music degree today from the Bass School of Music. You will find the words to the alma mater on page 41 of your program.
Receive the benediction. Fellow graduates, today we are standing on the edge of possibility, breathing in deeply the sense of pride, accomplishment, and hope that this day embodies. Suspended between our time as a student and our future as a graduate, we gather today in abundant joy and gratitude. We know that no one ever achieves anything alone, and I have found this truth to be powerfully present in the community that is found at Oklahoma City University. As I look back on the memories of the last 4 years, all our greatest moments were when we were surrounded by a community of love and encouragement. When milestones were reached, we celebrated together. When tests loomed in the future, we studied side by side. When it seemed like everything was falling apart, we found comfort in each other. May we bask in the joy of this day, and tomorrow be ready to go to work, enact positive change hand in hand, and recognize that what we take from this university is not for private use, but for public good. I would like to leave you with one final blessing from Irish tradition, because it was the early Celtic Christians who knew better than anyone that God's grace doesn't just manifest itself in life's extraordinary moments, but is a constant even in the most ordinary of places. May the rose rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of God's hand. Amen.
Steps in all their ways.
we proudly present the Oklahoma City University graduates of 2016.